Hello, friends. I'm Michael Kingswood. I write fiction for fun and profit. And this is story time. More like where the hell you been time, Kingswood. And that's true. It's been months since I've been on here. I put the one post up here, sheesh, back in late January, early February, talking about how my voice was dead. And then it appeared that I had been dead because I haven't been around here in a long time. Multiple reasons for that. Doesn't really matter. Point is, we're back. And started streaming some games again and getting back into picking up the pieces left off with my commentary on Star Trek, because I'm a very bad Star Trek fan. I'm a great Star Trek fan. Been a Star Trek fan forever. However, I've been bad at keeping up with some of the series of it, namely Voyager. And so I've been watching it, and I've been leaving my thoughts about the various and sundry episodes here. And the plan was to do at least one or two of them a week. And I continued watching it since I last talked to you guys. I just haven't talked to you guys about it because of it doesn't really matter why. So we're going to pick up where we left off months ago. And apologies for not being around too long to get into as to why. So anyway, we're up to season 1, episode 11 here, which is Heroes and Demons. And like I've done previously, I don't intend to do any kind of video playback, clippage, reacting to watching it thing, because I don't feel like editing and dealing with copyright stuff. And also, that's not really my point of doing this. My point is to give thoughts about the storytelling aspects and the character aspects that I see, and things that I dug and not keep it quicker, just do it this way. So, Heroes and Demons. I have all my notes here that I wrote down a little while back, and we're going to talk about it. So let's proceed. So the thing I like, so a brief synopsis here, right? Harry's missing again. Harry's always missing. So we go to the holodeck, Chakotay and folks go to the holodeck, try to find him. They can't find him. Where the heck's going on? But he's running an audio novel of holographic novel of Beowulf. Holy smokes! And they encounter Freya, and she brings them over to the court, and they get induced into the court, and you have to go fight Grendel and Yeehaw, and then all of a sudden those guys are got lost too. It's like XO's gone. Tuvok's gone. What the heck happened? And that's ironic because, well, we'll talk about it later. So what the heck happened? Well, it turns out looks like it's some kind of a creature that got caught in the holodeck or something, and it's messing things up and messing everybody else up who gets in there, and it's going to kill everybody. Oh my God, well, what can we do? Well, maybe we could send somebody who's not a person who's a hologram himself, who's impervious, to go and save the day. So, hey, Holodoc, you're going in. So Holodec's like, I'm going in. Yeah, you're going in, Doc. Oh, no. So Holodeck goes in there. He has a little sort of mini romance with Freya, which is awesome. And he tries to fight the Grendel and fails bad. Oh, my God. Holy cow, we thought we couldn't be hurt, but he loses a limb. Oh, my goodness. But, of course, he's a hologram. He can rug his limb back, and that's no problem. But eventually they figure out how to fix it. They find this synaptic pattern in the energy, which proves that yes, this is in fact a being that is in fact alive somehow in the holodeck, and it got unknowingly kidnapped this thing, and it's been retaliating in the holodeck, and Doc manages to save the day, just free the creature, and restore the 3 missing guys. Yeehaw. He's awesome. He gets a commendation from the captain, and he even picked out a name for himself in this one, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And he had some ups and downs. He had some doubts that he overcame, and a little bitty romance with our girl Freya. So, I mean, what's not to like? Everybody loves the Holodoc. I liked this one. It was fun, and but a few things that stood out to me on it. First of all, it's like, man, Harry's missing again. It's always something with Harry. It's like, why is Harry always getting something done to him? read somewhere, heard somebody about Harry Kim is the most unlucky person in the history of Star Trek before I started watching this, and I was like, okay, I guess it's going to end up being true because he keeps getting kidnapped or vanished or something. It's like, holy smokes. But when when the Tuvok and XO first went into the holosuite, I was like, man, it looked the forest looked a lot like the forest in the previous episode where he with the little, what was it called, the little portals where they have where they, I forget which one it was, where they had the portal where they could transport halfway across the galaxy or whatever. But the guy, the one alien leader guy was macking on the captain pretty hard. But anyway, but here it goes into the woods with that girl, and the Hollow novel first came up, I was like, is Harry reliving the time he struck out with the girl in the woods because he was a moron? Well, no, he's just doing Beowulf. And gotta say, Freya's looking pretty good. Not as good as my Freya. Maybe I'll show you a picture of her. Freya's the name of my dog. She's a sweetie pie. So yeah, does look better than my Freya because this is a woman, but not a doggy. But my Freya's still cute. Anyway, but at first, I mean, obviously, the actress Marjorie Moynihan, I was trying to picture where I had seen her from. And at first, even when I was looking away when we first talked, and her voice came out, I was like, wait, is that Michelle Forbes? Wait, no, it's not Michelle Forbes. Obviously not. But that's the impression I got. But no, it's kind of cool to see her and her interaction with Doc. The interaction with the XO and Tuvok, yeah, whatever. But getting to that, it's funny because don't get a lot from XO and Doc on this one. Almost nothing from Harry. You get very little from Neelix, but what you did get was good. It's like it's talking to Tuvok at the cafe and talking about literature and demons, and Tuvok's like, oh, there's no demons in Vulcan literature, and Nick's like, well, that explains why it's so popular. Sort of walks away. It's like, yes, I like ribbing. Ribbing is good. But it's interesting the whole after Doc and Tuvok get energy, dark photonic radiation, energized sucked into the holodeck, as well as apparently what happened to Harry, and they go to Doc to rescue. It's interesting that his interesting reaction, because you wouldn't think a hologram would be emotional. I mean, obviously the Doc has been, right? He's been grumpy a lot, dry, pseudo sense of humor a lot. When the captain says, all right, you're in, he's like, all right, cool. Oh, good. And it's interesting, of course, Cass, of course, is the super sensitive one, and immediately notices it and gives him a pep talk. And Dog's like, well, yes, I did finally pick a name. Thank you for asking. I am Dr. Schweitzer. Dr. Schweitzer. Okay. Cool. But it's just a funny name. And I think that's one of the guys he said that was programmed him, I think you said, back in the programming people who created him. So that's kind of cool. But it's very, so his trepidation when he's preparing to go is done very well. But when he gets into the holodeck and he's like, oh, this is cool, and he touches the tree, and it's like, he gets this big old grin, like, I'm touching something that's like me. And it's like, it's kind of cool. And of course, meeting Freya, and he has to do the little duel to get in the good graces with the court, and then he's finally able to sit down and feast with them. And I couldn't help but wondering, is Doc, he's just a hologram. So, I mean, he's going through the motions with the food and drink, but is he programmed with senses? I mean, he obviously is to a certain extent, vision, but how does that work? Because it would be programmed from the cameras all around the room, right? So what sort of vision does he have? I guess you could be interpolated through our computing coding is good enough that we can interpolate from a first person kind of thing now, I guess. Certainly could give it that. And obviously has tactile interfaces because so his fields can the fields that make up his holographic persona can interface with real stuff in the medical bay and what have you. So there has to be some amount of tactile stuff. But what about taste? He's eating and drinking. What? No reason for a holographic doctor to be programmed to be able to taste. So I wonder if he did. Well, actually, or maybe you would, because doctors need to be able to smell because certain infections and certain conditions give off certain odors, and I think there's similar things with taste as well. So maybe it can. But here's the other fun thing is the holographic food. People can eat and drink that. How does holographic food? How do you taste it? Because all it is little energy fields, right? Little energy packets. Doesn't have any chemistry associated with it. So how do you? So even if he could eat and taste it and smell it, even if you could taste and smell real stuff, how do you taste and smell a holographic food stuff? Now, of course, they replicate food. Use replicator technology on the holodeck, so probably maybe they get some real food in there. But okay, goes back to it because he tastes it. Because he's having this great feast with these guys, and he seems to be enjoying it. It's like, how much does he really enjoy it? How much does he really experience? Don't know, whatever. But he's continuing to rizz up Freya. I wrote that down. He's rizzing Freya up, and it's like, hey, can a holographic guy hook up with a holographic girl? I mean, I guess, but it would be like AI generated video characters people are doing AI OnlyFans and stuff, so I guess maybe, but it's obviously you certainly could have it, but how is that? Anyway, whatever. Doesn't really happen though because he loses his arm, and at that point they find that the synaptic energy, then it's all good, and so they realize it's on the run. Let's see. Doc has to retreat. They fix him up. It goes back in, and alas, Unthar. He finds Freya dead, which sucks because she's awesome, and killing off my doggy. But then he has Unthar. It's this big confrontation with Unthar, and then Unthar all of a sudden just sort of he doesn't all of a sudden back off, but he backs off way too easily, I thought. But then, of course, the Doc manages to get it done. Take out Grendel, but really release the life form with the plan that they came up with, and hey, cool, good for you, Doc. You overcame your doubts, and you're the hero. Yay! Gets a combination from the captain. Life is good, and of course, poor Harry, he comes back into place, and he's like, "What's going on?" in his Viking garbs, like, well, sorry, dude. And of course, Dr. Schweitzer. It's not Dr. Schweitzer anyway. You can tell that Doc was very actually feeling it bad when Freya, bit the dust there. And it's like, in the one sense, it's like, that's cool. He had a connection. He's feeling the connection, actually impacting him. On the other hand, when you think about it, all you have to do is reset the program and she's back. So it's like, it's that cynical me thinking it too much, but it's like, it still is a good thing for him. And he sort of takes that in. He's like, I was Dr. Schweitzer with her. She's gone. I'm going to pick a new name. So he's kind of sad for Freya and commemorating her for a bit. And then so he's making progress in he hasn't really had a quest to be really, well, his desire was to be, more part of the crew. And so he's making progress there. Everybody's got some great gratitude towards him. He saves the day. It's great. And of course, lots of good hollow Doc quips and awkwardnesses and all that stuff. And it worked out great. I like this one. It wasn't Was it the most stupendously awesome episode ever made? No. Was it fun? Oh yeah. Was it good character development for the doc? Yep. And that's all we need. Yeah. So I dig it. We'll come back to talk about the next episode here very shortly. That'll be episode 12, Cathexis. And yeah, I have some thoughts about that one. But we'll talk about that in the next episode. Anyway, like I said, if you're here and you're stuck around this long, thanks a lot. I promise I am back and I'm not going away for very much. I will be traveling a little bit in the next month or so. I'm going out to back east for a convention, and at the end of this month I'm going to be working the polls here in California, in San Diego, for the primary election. So I will have less time to come along and say hi at the end of the last week of this month. But this is May 2026, May 12th, 13th rather, as I'm recording this. But I am going to be back on the regular here. So if you dig the thoughts on Star Trek and Voyager, come back. If you dig what I'm talking about, come back and say hi. If you dig writing thoughts, that's what I do as well. If you dig watching silly blonde writing guys trying to play video games, that does me too. And if you just like books and stories, I also read stories of mine. I haven't read any stories of mine here in a while, but I do that on Story Saturdays, and we'll be getting back to that again here as well. Also, in the meantime, I've written numerous books, as you well know, and those of you who know me know. As you can see, I'm kind of revamping my backgrounds here. So to the right of me are the novels, to the left of me are short story collections, and I'm going to play you a little video now that talks about one of the novels, Warfare Qualified, that I have put out last summer. It's one of those things that I've been meaning to write for a while because as a Navy guy, I've been dissatisfied with a lot of military sci-fi books, so I decided to write an awesome one of my own, and people who have read it so far are digging it a lot. You will too. Go check it out. Here, have a look. Pretty good, huh? Looks good, huh? You better go check it out. It's a great book. All of my books are great. You're going to love them all. So anyway, go check it out. michaelkingswood.com/store or bookstreet.com/michaelkingswood. And you can see what I have written. Go check a few things out. It'll be great. Or, subscribe, stick around until the next time, and we'll see each other again. Until then, don't do anything I wouldn't do.